Hello, everyone. Jesse here. And like I said, I was going to start a Psalms devotional study. Now, today, I just want to talk to you guys kind of like an intro, right? I just want to share a little bit about Psalms, talk a little bit about how I'm going to conduct this devotional, and of course, um, invite you and let you know how you can also participate if you have questions, comments, or anything like that in what we're studying. And so, Psalms, it's an amazing book. And it's my prayer that this devotional not only benefits you in learning about the Psalms, but it helps you grow and mature as you search and study scripture on your own. And of course, this devotional only scratches the surface of the book of Psalms. There's just so much that is in there that there's just no possible way for us to get through it in the amount of time that I'm dedicating to each devotional. But we are going to learn about 2 to 3 things from each psalm, and we're going to dissect those things and see how we can apply it to our lives. And another thing is this devotional is not supposed to be any type of exhaustive study, because again, there's just too much that we can learn, and we can't do it all in the short amount of time. And also, it's not supposed to trump any of your personal Bible reading time. You should be reading the Bible on your own daily, multiple times a day if you have the time as well. The Bible's the most important thing we have in our arsenal as Christians here, as we do the will of God here on earth that He has planned for us, besides prayer. The Psalms is an amazing work of art. The book starts off with a psalm that shares and summarizes pretty much its entire theme, because the entire theme of the Psalms talks about the Torah, the hope. It talks some Psalms talk about the pain, joy, and prayer and praise. It summarizes and talks about the coming Messiah, the Anointed One. And throughout the Psalms, you see it start to dissect and dig deeper into each of these topics. And these themes, of course, continue to develop in the 5 parts of the book. And I say 5 parts because the Psalms was never just one book. It is 5 books or sections, if you will, and the Psalms were collected. All these Psalms were collected sometime after Israel's exile to Babylon, and it was intentionally arranged into the books of the Psalms with 5 sections. Now, sections or books 1 and 2 share and explore the story of David and his family and its capacity. The 3rd section or book, it takes a deep dive into the tragedy of Israel's exile and the ruin of David's line. You know, all those problems. You hear about the Psalms where he's talking about people all around him trying to attack him, and but how God helps him through these things. I mean, this is how theologians start to see the heart of David, and this is how they can kind of tell, you know, what's going on and when this psalm may have taken place based on what it's talking about. Now, the 4th section or book, the 4th section or book is where we see the rekindling of hope, and specifically the hope of the Messiah, a new temple, and God's kingdom. Then the 5th section or book of the Psalms ends with a beautiful, crafted 5-part conclusion of that praises God for His faithfulness. So as you can see, just talking about the Psalms right there, it's divided into 5 books, and it's so rich in what it talks about, not only historical, but spiritually speaking, on how we can apply these truths to our lives and learn from the mistakes and from the right choices of all those faithful believers that came before us. That's why the Bible in general is such a powerful tool. But on top of it, the Psalms is amazing, because not only are we learning all this, but we're getting all that emotion. We're getting all the deep thought and the deep devotion that these people had for God and what was going on all around them. Now, in the Psalms, we read about pain, we read about joy, we read about praise and prayer. And the Psalms not only is beautiful, but it's a place where we learn about these things. We learn the importance of prayer. We learn the importance of acknowledging our pain and the power of praise. It's also a place that reminds us of prophecy and shows us the fulfillment of this prophecy. Many of these psalms were used in a choir that sang outside the temple. I believe it was the choir that David instituted. But I want you to think of Psalms as more than just a hymnal or songbook, because it is so much more. Now, David is accredited for 73 of the Psalms, and then Asaph is attributed to 12. I might be saying that wrong, Asaph. The sons of Korah are credited 11. Heman and Ethan are credited 2. Solomon and Moses are credited 3. And then there's 49 anonymous ones. Now, there's a lot of theologians that do accredit some of those 49 to David, but they're anonymous. No one was given the credit for them. Some think a good portion of them belong to David because of how they sound, the literary style, situations they're talking about, stuff like that. But that is the breakdown of 150 Psalms. So again, if you're interested in diving deep in the Psalms, please join me. I'm going to be posting these devotionals probably every couple weeks, every other week or every 2 or 3. They'll be about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on what we're dissecting. I'm going to be talking about anywhere from 2 to 3 things out of each Psalms and discuss how we can apply it to our lives. Now, on any of these devotionals, if you have any questions, comments, if you just want prayer, if you want to dig a little deeper on something, you can comment. And then I will be sure to answer it in the next video as best as I can. It also depends on how many questions there are, but I'll try to take the questions, especially the ones that are repeated, and answer them the next time I record for the next Psalms. So the next time I record, we're going to be diving into Psalm 1. So if you want to get a head start, read Psalm 1, maybe read it in a few different translations, read a commentary, and when I post again, we will be dissecting it. I hope you have a blessed day, blessed week. And again, if you need prayer, let me know. God bless.